Good morning. Welcome to the session and welcome to my YouTube channel, Try to Thrive. Tell me, how are you doing?
What was the question again? How I am?
How are you doing?
Same old. I'd say I'm great. I wake up at around 6 a.m. and I do some lessons, but today in the morning I had two. One
Mm-hmm.
of them was canceled because this Ukrainian student, she received some bad news from the government in the US. So we had to cancel the lesson. So I've been doing some lessons and I finished the second one right before starting this one. So my morning's been great so far. What about you?
Oh, okay. It seems like you are an early riser then.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's lovely to know. Yes, it is my first session. Like I have just started my day.
Your first session in the day.
Yeah.
How many more are you planning to do then?
Today I will not take classes. Maybe in the evening I'll take, but then in
Hmm.
the day I'll take only 2 to 3 sessions more. Apart from this, I'll do just reading or watching something.
That
Yeah.
is right. So, do you also give private lessons?
Yeah, to beginners and intermediates. Yeah,
For
before we
sure.
move forward, I would like to know about yourself since you are here for the very first time on my YouTube channel and we are connecting first time.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I did want to have this conversation with you, Rajni, because I remembered you from your 3 years old videos when you had shoulder length hair. Oh, you still have shoulder length hair. I forgot to notice that. But then the kind of progress that you've shown over the months, I have to say I am impressed. And try to thrive. You're the one who's thriving, and congratulations on your YouTube success as well. About me, obviously, my name is Richa, and I am from Richie English, like the name suggests. I am a TESOL certified teacher to teach English. Aside from that, I coach for the American accent and public speaking, and it's been 3 years now.
Oh, wow. 3 years. It means when even I didn't start speaking English. Since then, you have been teaching.
This is,
Wow.
I started at the age of 19. I am 22 now.
It's been only 2.5 years I have been speaking the language. So when I started, I was very pathetic at it. And before me speaking, you started teaching. That's really great. Who
I
inspired you to
remember
start
your old
at
videos.
this
I
early
remember your old
stage?
videos.
Okay.
No, I remember your old videos from the time when you used to upload clapping sessions.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel a bit of familiarity with you because I watched your YouTube for a long time, I'd say, on and off, obviously. But then back in the day when you used to upload clapping sessions, I was a tutor there.
Oh, on Clappingo.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
used to
didn't
be a
know
clapping
that.
tutor back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you still working with any platform?
Uh-huh. I do give some lessons on Preply, but these days I
Okay.
usually get my students from word of mouth. It's been 3 years, and so you don't have to do it the regular way anymore. Good for me.
Absolutely. So, did you try giving sessions on Camly too, which is more popular worldwide, I guess?
Um, I've heard about it, but to be honest, I've never actually tried signing myself up as a tutor there. Do you recommend I do it?
Because as you mentioned that you teach for American accent,
I do.
yeah, that is why. Hmm. Really,
Okay.
you sound really American to me right now. A bit difficulty to understand, but I'm trying my level best to understand you clearly. Okay, so it's really an incredible thing. I really want to know about the journey. Like, how did you pick the accent, and who inspired you first to have this American accent?
100% my same old story. Like, I have to give you a disclaimer. This is not going to be super interesting. It doesn't sound interesting to me anymore because
Mm-hmm.
I've been repeating the same story, Rajni, for the last 3 years. Everybody just wants
Okay.
to know how I got started. The story goes when I was 10 or 11 years of age, I had some of my cousins, they were studying in the United States. And from them, I happened to make friends with some Americans. So when I was just starting to learn English, I got this opportunity to speak with native speakers in real time. I really appreciate that opportunity. It's weird and odd opportunity, but I'm very thankful for it. So in like my early days itself, I got so much exposure and I got a lot of listening in. But It's not like that was the only thing that's helped me achieve how I sound today. Had I not practiced after talking to native speakers, I would sound nothing like this. So definitely you got to stay consistent. And when I look back at my journey, it's been 10 years I've been learning and speaking and teaching English. Speaking English 3 years, but learning and speaking, it's been a decade, over a decade. When I look back, I am not able to find a single day where I haven't learned English. I do it every single day without fail. So that's how it goes.
Pretty incredible, I must say. It means like it's been 10 years that you have been continuously into the same kind of environment where you were, feeding your brain by listening, by watching, and by talking to
Yes.
people in the same
Yeah,
accent.
you got it.
This shows that when you do practice on regular basis, it really gives you the result ultimately.
100%. That's the only thing.
Hmm, great. Maybe this journey is not maybe great or sound good to you, but when somebody connects to you for the very first time, it's like magical thing to hear you and to know like how the person started. Because I think people are able to relate with me too. Like when they listen to me, I don't have any proper accent like American or British. It's like neutral Indian accent which I use, and but people still ask me about my journey, how I started and all when they see my progress over YouTube, even in English too. So they continuously ask me, and I know how it feels when you repeat your same story for. I am also repeating the same story for 2.5 years now. So yeah, pretty
Feel
understandable.
me. Yeah, you
Okay.
feel me, right? Me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so as you mentioned that you have been teaching now for I think 3 years, more than 3 years, right?
3 years.
So I want to know the major challenge you face while teaching because I am also into it. I have started. It's been only a few months, and I teach only beginners and intermediates. But I am looking forward to help advanced speakers too, and from different background and domains. So I want to know like major challenges you face while teaching.
100% I'm going to get into the answer. But first off, you have this band of 1 lakh people. Your subscriber band is so large, you can easily pull so many students. I mean, you've got a lot of loyal listeners, right? You can have a lot of students if you start teaching. But then back to your question, I've had a few challenges. I wouldn't say a lot. Like, honestly, I've only had a few challenges. And one of the major challenges that I've faced in my lessons is making my lesson understood to the learner. As a teacher, you have to have a feeling for what your learner wants, their requirements. But sometimes, because I speak with this accent, and this is like my natural style of speaking, I can still speak with the Indian accent the way all of us speak in our day to day lives, but then that is not so natural for me. Also, I focused a lot on the American pronunciation, not just the accent. So even when I'm speaking in the Indian accent, I still sound like quasi American. So that's kind of funny. I refrain from doing that. So I'm gonna go full in and speak in the American accent. So you have to make the lesson understood to the learner. So that's one of the things that I have seen my learners struggling with a bit. But then I explain it to them that you have to try to understand native speakers because ultimately that is going to be your best test. If you can pull off a conversation with an Aussie or with an Australian, with an American, only then when can you be completely like content with what you've achieved. Otherwise it is like all fun and games. I am not saying if you're not able to pull off a conversation with a native then you're bad or anything. No, but that is going to be a litmus test is what I mean. So that's
Hmm.
the number one challenge that I face. I'm not able to think of any other challenges as of now because they're not so big enough, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
Hmm.
that's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense when people are already have their level like intermediate and they want to achieve the advanced when they are already aware of the things that they have to do and efforts they have to put into practice every single day. So you don't face that challenges. But when it comes to beginners, it's a bit different story which I face, struggle which I face. Okay, that's yes, I can relate with it, like how people feel because I have been also watching and listening to many people, but still I'm struggling a bit. Not that much because I have the habit of listening to, like, I watch web series on Netflix and movies and all. So that is why I'm able to. So it is like when you give the exposure to yourself, you immerse yourself into this kind of environment. When you watch something in American or British English, you feel it like you feel comfortable when you listen to the trainer too. So Great. Okay. So you don't have major, like, big problems while it comes to teaching. And yes, as you mentioned, I have 100K subscribers now, so I can have a lot of students. But this is not my, I think, bigger plan to teach online always.
Hmm.
I want
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
first, I started giving one on one sessions. So, one on one sessions I have been giving already. And maybe I would continue, but I want to teach even in groups too, like in group classes. At the same time, YouTube is again my major focus to grow more and more over YouTube and work here.
Obviously,
Yeah. So,
you must be many people's favorite YouTuber.
have
You know
heard
this, right?
multiple times. Yeah.
You heard it. You heard it.
Grateful. Yeah.
100%. That's
Okay.
there.
There are a lot of things that I want to ask you as a learner's perspective. First is that many people are very good at English already, right? So they know everything in English, but when it comes to speak confidently, they don't feel like the self doubt they have, since maybe because of the problems or maybe embarrassing moments they faced during their school and college. They were mocked and laughed, and they were taken like, oh, they are very weak at English and they don't know how to communicate. But over time they enhanced, but because of that embarrassing moments and all, they are not able to still speak English confidently. How do you help them boost their confidence?
Yeah, 100%. First off, I don't really like talking about a lot of motivational stuff. I believe in actions rather than empty words because motivation every single day, outside motivation is not going to last. You have to be internally motivated. And how does that come with results? If you start speaking good English, like one example is going to help you believe in yourself more, the other example
Hmm.
a little bit more, and then more and more. And that is how the story goes on. So when I have a learner who talks about their low confidence and stuff like that, I immediately like to stop them there. I like, you have to keep your self-talk positive. You cannot keep telling yourself, I'm not confident or I've had this bad experience. I've had bad experiences. I did my first public speaking when I was in fourth grade. And this might sound like a childish story to you, but it scarred me. It literally scarred me. For months on end, I was hung up on the same incident, and it was so difficult for me to come out of it. Obviously, the teenage mind, I don't think I was a teen back then, not even a preteen. A preteen mind is so malleable, and I was not able to make myself out of that bad situation. I broke through, obviously, after some time. So, this is what I like to tell my learners. A lot of motivation can be good, but if it is internal, it's the best thing ever. Listening to a bunch of motivational stuff online and then not doing anything in the real aspect is not gonna show any results. So first things first, you have to start speaking. If you
Hmm.
think you've had a bad moment and that stops you from coming across as a confident speaker, you have to do it more. If you fear a snake, don't go anywhere near the snake. But if you fear public speaking, you gotta do it again and again. That's like the simple logic out here. And take baby steps. Many people are pressured with the idea that I have to do this one presentation, like the best presentation in my life, because I wouldn't get another bite of the cherry. It's not like that. Life is full of opportunities only if you develop an eye for that. You have to look for opportunities. If you do badly in one incident or in one event, that's not the end of it. You got to learn from it and try to move on. We all make mistakes and we all have bad experiences, but some of us are able to move on from it quicker than the others.
Hmm. Makes sense. I do agree that it is just what you think of about yourself. Like, you should be very positive.
100% the
Whatever
mindset.
the thought you feed your mind, they should be very. So it is like kind of a law of attraction you are applying by saying that repeat the same positive words, and because
Yeah,
you are already good at, you know that you are good at, but the self doubt or maybe some experiences are holding you back. So you have to be very very aware. And yes, practice is the only way to get results. If your aim is to get result, then you have to practice no matter what happens. It's not like, yeah, as you mentioned, that we should not be just watching motivational speakers all the time. That is not going to help. Yeah, I do agree. And yes, motivation comes from within. Even I have experienced personally that the little improvement itself is a motivation for us. So when you see an
that's the
improvement
best
in
thing.
yourself, that is a motivation for you, and it really works like magical. It has
That's
been
the biggest
working in
motivator.
in
Results are
my.
the biggest motivator.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. What is your motivation behind coming over YouTube?
Starting YouTube, okay. Like I've been doing it for so long. I've been trying to
Mm.
make videos for my students, not really uploading it on YouTube. So I give them some homework. For that, I have to show some videos, like the demo video of 30 seconds or a minute, and they have to essentially replicate the same thing in their video. So I've had a good camera presence. That's the thing. I'm gonna just put it out there. But then lounging on my sofa, watching other YouTubers do the thing that I'm perfectly capable of doing, I was tired of it. One day I just decided I can do it very well, and why am I not doing it? So I just decided and launched myself on YouTube. But you know what?
Mhm.
I started my YouTube back in August, I guess. It's been over 6 months at this point, but I haven't been able to stay consistent. For the last month and a half, I've been uploading consistently, and you do inspire me to post daily. I see you are super regular with your YouTube. I don't really know much about your personal life. If you are, I don't know, like if you have a family, you're married or anything like that. But then I know there is this delicate balance you have to maintain between life and work. I don't call it work life balance. It's like work and life are two different things for me because I work from home. It's very different. It's very difficult to maintain that boundary. You're thinking about your mom while teaching, and you're thinking about your job while talking to your mom. I want to keep the two things separate, but obviously it's hard, and we're all like trying to just strike that balance. I guess you'd agree with me on that. But I gotta stay consistent. I've started being consistent, and I'm happy to help anybody who's listening to my videos.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm able to resonate with it. But I have created that separate space for work. I also work from home. So I keep that boundaries and I have proper plans for everything like reading and watching something and then working from here,
Mhm.
fixed schedule. So somewhere I'm able to maintain that and looking forward to have a separate space too. Though I'm not married, so after marriage, because I'm not sure
Sorry,
where I will
sorry.
be there.
I didn't want to
So
assume anything. You know what I'm saying?
no, no
Sorry.
problem, no problem. So that is why I'm not, just renting anything right now, or maybe I'll have something different like a separate office or maybe a studio, which I'm looking forward as I'm going to work more for YouTube itself. That is my uh, major priority, I would say. So maybe I'll have later once I'll decide where I will be staying for longer. So then I'll decide it. But
You
yes,
can go
okay.
first and I can follow through. If you have a studio or if you have a separate office, just let me know how you're able to achieve all of it and what's the process like so I can make up my mind and do the same. Because I know there's a lot of distraction when you work from home. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I have my uncle's kids over and they scream on the top of their lungs and you just cannot be rude to them. But
Hmm.
then, I don't know, human emotions, you're flustered, you do not know what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Happens many times. Even some relatives, when they visit us, they are like, she is always in the room. She is like, she has closed the doors and she doesn't come out. But they don't get that I'm working. It's not like if I'm at home, that's just like I'm just
Exactly.
free. No, I'm working here. It's like my office time. I cannot come out. I have to work. I have to focus here. And when I don't have any class or any session, they're like, what are you doing inside? Come out and do this. I say like for classes, for these sessions, I have to study too. So if there is any silence, I'm not speaking, it means I'm studying. So it's like very
100%.
difficult to make
My
everybody
dad's like
understand
that.
whoever visits my family. So yeah. Next, I want to know if somebody is looking forward to enhance their pronunciation, what tip or method can you suggest them?
Obviously. So if you want to improve your pronunciation, first off, you have to know that you have to improve your pronunciation. That's the first step that many people miss. That is like a pre-step. You have to prime your mind, get ready to learn some pronunciation. And the first step that you have to take in the action plan is to start listening. You gotta
Hmm.
get a lot of listening in as much as possible. As a beginner, like 10-15 minutes a day is okay. But with time, you have to keep adding the layers to that listening game. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're an advanced speaker and you only listen to something or watch something for 5 minutes a day, that's gonna show zero effects on your progress from that point on. As a beginner, of course, you can start slow, baby steps in the beginning. I too recommend that. But then you have to increase the time, watch some things in English. That's the most fun way of learning English. And also with pronunciation, there's a specific thing that I like to do. Whenever I come across a word that is new for me, I immediately just Google it and check all the available pronunciations on the same page. You usually have three pronunciations, which is the Indian English style, the American, and the British. I listen to all the three, and then you also have the option to practice it there. So you can do that. Or if you think that you keep forgetting things, it's very natural. Please don't beat yourself after forgetting things. If you only learn something once, a difficult vocabulary word, maybe, you will have to revisit. Make regular revisits. You'll have to listen to the pronunciation again and again. And then again, if somebody wants to improve their pronunciation right before they're going into an interview, an important meeting or stuff like that, not going to happen. There's like a 99.999% chance that you're not going to improve your English within a day, but nothing's impossible. You know what I'm saying? It is a constant process. You have to keep brushing up on your English every single day, but like make listening your priority and you'll see a world's difference, a world's difference.
Absolutely. Yes. As a beginner, you can start like baby steps, taking baby steps, 5 minutes to 15 minutes, but we have to increase time. I have personally done that, so I know you have to. If you have the mindset kind of getting extraordinary results from yourself, like expectations are higher, then you have to put extraordinary efforts too in order to get that. Hmm.
Yeah, to shine like a sun, you have to burn like the sun. I
Absolutely.
copied it. APJ Abdul Kalam.
Absolutely. Okay. Many people say that they get stuck while speaking. They don't get run out of thoughts. They don't get what to speak next. So, how to master that if you can help?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. We all face that problem, not gonna lie. The struggle sort of never ends, Rajni. It never ends. Even native speakers sometimes run out of things to say. What do they do next? They have their own ways of coming out of that lull, that awkward silence. You have to work on the ways you can come out of that awkward silence because we're humans. At the end of the day, we cannot have everything figured out ahead of time. It is going to happen. Sometimes you will stop, but you shouldn't be like, oh my god, this is the end of the conversation. What is the person going to think about me now? The person's not thinking about you. Just know this for a fact. They're not thinking about you. They're worried about their English. You know what I'm saying? When we two are in a conversation, I
Hmm.
am obviously I'm at a point where I can think my thoughts and listen to you simultaneously. I'm quite in sync. Let's say I was a beginner, I'd be so focused and in my mind about my own speech that I'd pay only 10%, 15% attention into what you are saying. Pretty natural. So they're going to think some things about you, just cut it. Nobody's thinking anything about you. Again, you are
Hmm.
going to fall short of words sometimes. You just cannot, root out the problem or throw it out of the window. It doesn't work like that. It's only
Hmm.
human to take pauses, to have lack of words sometimes, but then don't let it get to you. Don't let it affect you. You have to come out of it and make it sound natural. And you know what I'm saying? If you start doing something like this in conversations, you'll start to feel so much more confident about your English that you'll forget looking for this particular answer. How do I never get stuck? You are going to get stuck. Machines also get stuck. So just keep this thing in mind, and it's not a bad thing. Just know it's not a bad thing to get stuck.
Absolutely. And a very great point you mentioned, which is taking pauses. When beginners take pauses, they feel bad about it. Oh, I'm taking pauses means the person will think of me that I don't know. Or that doesn't matter. Like you mentioned, that nobody thinks of you. It is just in our mind that we doubt and we are worried all the time that how's my English? Is it right, wrong, correct? No. And pauses really make really great difference when you present yourself.
100%.
Uh,
I don't know how much time we have left in this session, but we definitely need more time than we have left to talk about the importance of taking pauses. Timely pauses, obviously, not the awkward silences. Timely
yeah.
pauses are super important as words, if not more important than words.
Absolutely. And you should be aware of the things first that what are the things that you are lacking. If you have a lot of plethora of knowledge already, then you go for the vocabulary, the words. Maybe the words are one which are stopping you speak fluently and continuously, or maybe making you stuck in between. If that is vocabulary part, that you can separately focus on words while listening to people or while reading. I don't recommend the conventional way of learning words, like pick dictionary and then start learning 10 words a day. That's not gonna work. That will, even over time, will be like boring and monotonous for you. Then you will quit it. The journey, you will not be able to be consistent with it once you make it very boring for yourself. So if that is
100%.
vocabulary, then you can go for it. And if that is just like content, you don't have enough content to speak on, then you should be watching different stuff on regular basis. And observation
100%.
again plays a vital role in it. When you are very good at observing people, situation and
Mhm.
problems and struggles and how people come out of it, and all the things nowadays, like every kind of content is available over YouTube, like time management and how to grow life, how to change, how to make money. These are the common stuff we guys talk about or think of, right? On regular basis, what you are going to talk to people, these are the thing, like how to grow in life and how to manage time and how to manage stress and how to this and that. So these are the very simple things which you can get the knowledge about from YouTube itself. You don't need to go anywhere.
Mhm.
Otherwise, there are other websites also where you can read about it. Even you can use ChatGPT also, where whatever you get or you feel that you don't have knowledge, then you can give the command and you can read about it. So reading and listening attentively and observing, then working on vocabulary can definitely help you to get rid of getting stuck in between. Yeah.
100%, you're right about that. And there's like this one point. I agree with most of what you said, but there's this one point in specific that I'd like to expand on a bit. Like you said, it's about our knowledge bank. You have to enlarge your knowledge bank as well as your vocabulary. If you don't know anything about the world, you do not know anything about your friend, what are you going to talk about?
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, the content is the hero of the conversation. It's not really the English or the
Hmm.
language by itself. You have to know something to talk on an issue. And many people just keep focusing on random vocabulary or random grammar structures. Where are you going to use it? You got to find the places where it fits. I think that's how you should work on it. And obviously, you have to try to expand your knowledge on different fronts. That will give you so much space to say something when you get stuck. If you know a lot, you have like 5 points in mind and you forget the one in the middle, and you can just add another one or make a summation of all the 5 points. You know what I mean? So, this is a simple example to explain that knowledge is equally important.
Absolutely. And then your subconscious mind, sometimes when your conscious is not able to, perform well, subconscious comes in and it gives very great content, which you are maybe consciously not were thinking that, okay, I'm going to mention that in the session. But while in the conversation, somebody, mentioned that word or something that touched, then your subconscious mind give you the huge content about
Yeah,
it. So it happens when you are continuously consuming content, which is something I have experienced. Sometimes I use something or tell something which I was not aware. Later, after completing the session, I was, oh my god, I knew this too. Okay. So it happens when
mm,
you are continuously consuming content and observing people. So this is again a great tool. And as we have the book also, Power of Subconscious Mind, everybody should read that and utilize and leverage everything which is available. Okay, there are a few things again I would like to discuss with you, but before we move forward, do you have any question? Because I have been asking a lot of questions and I'm not giving any chance to you.
100%. Yeah. So I get to ask you one question? Just one?
Sure, sure.
Okay, I'm going to make you count. My question is, how did you achieve a mammoth subscriber base of 1 lakh people, and how can I replicate it? That is my question.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You gotta help me, Rajni. You gotta help me.
Okay. I think more than I, universe can help you. This is I would say I have applied the law of attraction too. Similarly, I tried upgrading my content. As you see, how I started, it was like nothing, just a conversation. Gradually, like still they are conversation, because the thing which I feel helped me the most is like common people are able, like ordinary people are able to understand well and able to relate with me. And this is what I keep in my mind always, that I am here to work for ordinary people, not extraordinary. Extraordinaries are always aware of the things that what they need to do and how they need to do, and
They're
they
taken
are
care
already
of.
very good at English too, so they are not gonna consume my content. But for ordinary people, nobody is looking at them, nobody is helping them. So keeping that in my mind, and that is why I don't focus much on accent part too, because already Americans, British are available over YouTube, but Indians are not watching them. Why? Because they don't understand them. They need English first to get job, to get promotion, to get connected to people. So their basic needs can be met, can we can help them even when they are good at basic normal English while keeping the Indian accent. So that is one thing I always keep in mind. And uh, because this is one which help my audience to connect with me, and once your audience is connected to you, your channel definitely will grow, because they will come again and again, because returning audience is again essential. When people are coming back, who are watched your videos again like already, and they are coming again, then YouTube gets this,
Yeah.
like how algorithm works. If people are coming back, it gets okay, your videos has some kind of value, that you're adding value in people's life. Then it pushes to more people. Then if they also liked and they are coming back next time, then it pushes again. So how I think I have understood according to my experience, like it
That's
pushes
right.
then your videos again and again if people are
Mhm.
coming back to your channel. So try to focus how to you know grab their attention and add value, so they can come back and learn. So YouTube itself pushes, because no matter how many things we know about algorithm, but YouTube works as its own way. We cannot just know that how it is actually working.
Impenetrable.
We can just take our audience very seriously, and the comments which I get, like earlier I was not adding subtitles in my videos, but nowadays I
Hmm.
do, because this was the continuous demand from my audience, that oh, add subtitles, add subtitles. Sometimes they still struggle to understand me, the beginners, but I can always not be like just beginner. I have to take care of the intermediates, advanced too. So I provide even all type of content. I connect to beginners too, where I'm just teaching a few words, and a beginner is trying to speak, intermediates too, and then advanced like you. So all kind of content is also available. That is again a beauty of my channel, maybe. As I
True.
started different I made already different playlists, like beginners, intermediates, then advanced, where I invited a few trainers, which is the playlist is future to fluency, where I invited only trainers. So that is advanced content for advanced learners. So you have to cover all the people according to the need and requirement. And then consistency is the most important thing.
Facts,
Always
facts. You
analyze your
know,
data in YT or Chrome, and then according to that, which video worked well and what kind of comment that video got, then analyze that, and then according to this you can plan your next video. I hope this will help.
that helped. That helped for sure. That helped.
Okay, anything else?
No, I think I'm out of questions.
Okay, we have
You want to
six
ask me
more.
anything else, or should we wrap it up here?
One
You
last
got
question
anything
I
to
want to
ask?
ask, yes. And that is, are you training for IELTS too, or are you looking forward to do that?
Looking forward to becoming an IELTS trainer
Yeah,
or TOEFL trainer.
yeah.
I already help people for that.
Oh,
I've got
okay.
a batch of Ukrainian students, but they
Mm-hmm.
are in America. I'm helping them get into an American university, so I've been doing this for quite some time now, helping
That's
people
great.
with TOEFL, right? Yeah, I've been doing it.
Wow, that's great. Okay, apart from this, I think I have done with my questions. But yes,
We're done.
what would
Okay,
you
excellent.
one last one. People forget vocabulary words, and we already discussed a little bit about it. But any tip or method that you can tell them to remember words and incorporate those words smoothly in their day to day conversation.
A simple tip, whenever you learn the word, try using it in a conversation. Please do that. That is the only way you can remember the vocabulary. How do native speakers have such a wide vocabulary? Because they use those words a lot. And you know
Hmm.
what? We don't use the language to talk to our friends or to our family. The only time us Indians use the language is at work. English is definitely one of the most popular work languages around the world. But then, if you want to become a good speaker of the language, somebody who's not hesitant about anything when it comes to conversations, reading, or writing, anything regarding that, then you have to do some extra work, walk the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? Start to think in English. If you develop that glitter, it's going to make everything else so much easier for you. You'll be able to retain words, and also, like, remembering is one thing. And most people suffer from the problem of not being able to remember the words at the time of conversation. And I know it's hard. Happens to everybody. Just know this, it happens to everybody. You're not an odd one out. You know what I'm saying? No one's an exception. And again, learning to think in English or remembering the vocabulary, all of it is connected and it is no rocket science. I've got a video on how to think in English that's coming out today or tomorrow. You'll get more content on that.
Hmm. Absolutely, they are interconnected. If you don't even get chance or environment or maybe kind of opportunity where you can use the word, at least you can keep making sentences in your mind itself first. So then it will be in your
100.
long term memory, and then someday you will definitely use the word.
Find the right opportunity. But you know what, Rajni? I don't think that you'll ever find a perfect opportunity to use the vocabulary word. You have to mold the conversation in a way where you can fit some good vocabulary that you've learned. You have to do it. You have to take things in your hand. That's how it works. When I started learning a bunch of vocabulary each day, I was still in school, and let's say I learned 10 words. I'd go to school the next day and try to have a conversation that in which I could incorporate those 10 words. I did it all by myself. You would never have a perfect opportunity descending on you from earth, from heaven. You know what I'm saying? So just keep this thing in mind that you have to be the weaver of your own environment. And
Hmm.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I come from Ranchi. I didn't have the environment either. Obviously, I had this odd opportunity to speak with Americans pretty early on. That has helped me a lot, sort of like jump started my journey. But then I don't have a lot of people around me with who I can practice English. So I
Hmm.
don't speak English a lot with my friends or family. The only time I'm practicing when I'm teaching or when I'm reading, that's my time. Or I've got some friends in America. They used to be my students. Now we're like super tight. And I also happen to start a podcast with one of my friends recently, only a few days back actually. So we upload some English conversations there. You can check it out. I'm gonna ask Rajni to link it down. So that's there. You have to find your own methods of using the vocabulary. And again, consistency is absolutely, absolutely key.
Hmm. Yeah, I do agree with it. Okay, so with that, we are going to wind this session up right here now. And this was it from my side. I want to say thank you so much for approaching me and for showing up here over my YouTube channel. It's really a pleasure talking to you.
I'm so happy I joined today.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to another conversation too, some other day, some other time.
Absolutely. Let's decide it sometime in March. Oh,
Yeah,
it's March, right?
it's
In
already
April next
March.
month.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
okay
stay in
then.
touch, yeah? Let's stay in
Sure.
touch.
Sure.
Sure. Thank
Yeah,
you so much
okay
for
then.
having me. I had a great time talking to your audience. Even though I had this imaginary audience in my head, I still enjoy the conversation. And it was lovely meeting you, Rajni. Just know
Yes.
that.
Likewise, likewise. I also enjoy talking to you. Okay then.
Okay.
See you.
Good day.
Have a
Good
great
day.
day. Yeah, yeah. Bye bye.
Sure. Bye.